Hello, good evening, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. So, today I want to be sharing my experience as an international student. But before I proceed, I'm going to give a few minutes for at least some persons to join the call, then we can start. So, while you're waiting, you can type your name on the chat right where you're joining us from. Thank you. Type your name and where you're joining from. Okay, blessing. Welcome. Let's give some time for others to join as well. Yeah, good evening, blessing. I'm going to wait for some minutes. This is the second person to join. Make sure you type your name, okay? Write your name and where you're joining from. Okay, I'm going to be starting in 2 to 3 minutes time. Who is the second person to join? Please, can you write your name and where you are joining from? If you don't write your name, I won't know who is joining. Okay, Quadri from Lagos. Welcome. Sunday, good evening. Charles, good evening. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 persons. Okay, maybe Blessing is not here. I don't know. Okay, you're joining from Delta. Sunday, you're joining from Delta. Okay. Charles, you're joining from Oka, right? Okay, those of you that joined early, make sure you send me a message after this call. I want to do some I want to do something. Just send me a message after this call for joining early. Send me a message after this call, okay? So I'm just sharing the links out. Okay. Let's see. Let me give a few more minutes. But we're going to start. We are going to start. So, what do you intend to learn from this session? Type it on the chat. What do you intend to learn from this session? It's just going to be a very simple session, not some kind of complicated stuff. Just straightforward, and then we are good to go. I just want to share my experience. what I went through in the UK or what I enjoyed in the UK. So that's just what I want to share. I want to share my experience. Samuel, so, Samuel, I will cast out the spirit of giveaway from you. You are the last person to join, and you are saying you're among the first three. Samuel, please, what do you want to learn from this session? Ah, look at Lee. Look at my princess. My princess is here. All of you that are seeing my picture with Lee, you'll be telling me, give me the number of this fine babe. Look at her in the chat now. Ask her for her number now. Look at Lee in the chat. Look at her. Ask her for her number. That's the fine babe you normally see on my status. Don't come to my DM to disturb me. You're in the same room with her now. Go and collect her number now. Collect her number now. Lee, thank you for joining. How is Belize? You know, if I'm telling my story, there's no way I'm not going to mention Lee. It's not possible. I will always mention Lee. Ah, even my mom already know Lee. She will be asking me about Lee. Hmm. Okay, 1 minute, then we are starting. Lee, just come to Nigeria. I have a lot of Nigerians for you. Just accept one of them. Accept one of them. And we'll transition from being friends to being siblings. Okay, 1 minute more and then we are starting. Just 1 minute. You're waiting for your Nigerian husband. Look at them. There are plenty Nigerian prince in this chat. So just catch one of them. Okay, Sunday. So, okay, let's start. It's already 10 minutes past. Okay. Good day. Good evening. I don't know where you're joining from. Good morning, Lee. Good evening to those of us in Nigeria, in the UK. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. So, today is just very simple. Like, I want to share my experience in the UK. There are some experience I had that it's only my friends that know what I went through. Like, Lee can testify what I went through. Though I didn't share some of those experiences with my family because I don't want to break them. I don't want them to feel bad. I just had to keep everything to myself. And then with some of my friends that I trusted, I have friends, but I didn't share with everybody. I just shared with a few persons that I feel like I can trust this person with this information. So, first of all, back in Nigeria, when we are in school, we don't really talk about mental health there. In fact, it's in the UK that I start seeing stories about depression, mental health. But in Nigeria, that's not really a serious topic in Nigeria. If you are depressed in school, nobody send you safe, nobody send you. You know, consign them. But here, I discovered that there are a lot of support system for students, especially maybe you are going through financial difficulties or mental health challenges. There are a lot of support to help you. But when I came new, that was in September. Okay, how did I start first? I started first having accommodation issues first because I don't have anyone here when I came. It was just me. It was just me. So thank God for my friend Grace. She connected me to her family in the UK. So I stayed with them till I got my stipend. My stipend was paid in 3 installments: October, January, and May. So those 3 installments, that's how they paid the stipend. So I got my first stipend in October and I came in September. So Grace, her family helped me. I've never seen Grace before as of then, but she, because we have been friends for over 2 to 3 years online, she had to make call, and then her sister and the husband, they received me. So I stayed in their place with the kids for like 1 month until I got my first stipend. Then I start to look for accommodation. So number one shock is that accommodation here is paid every month. Every month. If you stay outside London, you can get cheap one like 400, 450, 500 pounds per month. But if you stay within London, accommodation is very expensive within London. I think the cheapest you will see like 650. That will be a very tiny room. Then you see the one of 750, 800. So this is what you are going to pay every month out of your stipend. And then when you remove the accommodation money and transportation money, your stipend must have gone like half by the time you take away the accommodation and transportation feeding. So personally, the stipend should be enough, right? But before I came, I had a lot of responsibilities already. I have my siblings, I have four younger siblings, I have school fees to pay, I have feeding money to provide, everything, like everything. So I've been doing this before I came to the UK to study. But one thing that helped me back then in Nigeria was when I get my grants, I do projects, I get some tips from the project, then I was able to take care of these expenses. At least when I was in Nigeria, I didn't have to pay rent. It was like 4 months before I left Nigeria, or 5 months before I left. That was when I started paying rent. So which was not a big deal. Rent in Nigeria, you pay once and you forget about it. So it wasn't a big deal. What I was getting there was enough. But one thing that stood out that made me to be in this kind of situation, like finding myself in difficulties, was because 2024, all the grants I won in 2024, they didn't pay me. They, in fact, one of them have not paid me till date. So they didn't pay me the grant. I would say that the only thing I got in 2024 that entered my hand is that scholarship. I got two other grants. They didn't pay. One of them started paying just last year, like they paid just half of it last year, and they said they'll pay the remaining half this year. The other one, I had to drag them. I had to post about them on LinkedIn. So before then I said, oh, they are going to pay. We've had several meetings, but they have not paid anything. So I was just depending only on that stipend. And I have to pay heavily for accommodation, feeding, transportation, and then still take care of my family. So, and then how many of them got into the university? Like my siblings that entered university that year, I got the scholarship. So it was a lot of expenses for me. It was a whole lot of expenses. At the end of the day, do you know that some months I spend like over 2 million naira on family expenses? Some months are like that. I spend like, I think the least I've spent in a month is like 1 point something million. I'll calculate it. Sometimes I'll be crying, like everything is just going like, and it's not just my direct family, that's just the problem. There are other people that are close. Like there are cousins, there are friends, like people that need the help, people that need help, that I cannot say, oh, I can't help you, oh, I can't do this for you. Because there are kind of people that when they talk to you, they needed help. You can't say no. A friend of mine lost her job that same year. So I had to support with both the rent, monthly tips, and a lot of things. I don't have to say it here, but I'm saying it because I don't have to mention the person's name. So that was it. And it took for close to a year before the person was able to get another job. So I was supporting all those while secretly. I don't have to tell my family, I don't have to tell anybody. It was just me and her that knows what is happening, and a few other friends. So a lot of expenses are going back home. Sometimes when like my head will be filled up, I'll be like, what is happening? My money is finished. When I talk to some of my friends, they'll tell me, just stop giving them, stop giving. Save for yourself. Well, I can't say no. I can't turn back on people when they are in need. That's the problem. I cannot turn back on people when they are in need. I'll be feeling guilty that I didn't help this person. As long as I'm seeing money in my account, that's how the money will be leaving. The money will be leaving. So, and then I was not going to only that financial aspect of it. What happened next? Because I had that mindset in Nigeria when I was doing my undergraduate, I didn't have to struggle to pass. Like, I don't put in much effort. I'm not a bookworm. I just read. In fact, I'm the type that I read during exam. I don't read every time I'm reading. So I use that mindset. It worked for me in Nigeria because maybe 1 week to the exam or 2 weeks to the exam, I'll go and get the textbooks. I'll start doing fire brigade approach. I'll read overnight. I will not sleep. I'll read and read and read and read. And then I'll enter the whole write exam, get A, come out. I think the least score I had in my result was C. But that was like a few times. I have more A's, B's, more of A's than B's, than C. So that was the mindset I came here with. First of all, I don't understand their accent when they are teaching us in the class. I don't understand their accent. At a point, I feel like I'm just going to school to waste time. I'm just going to school, spending my transport fare for nothing. That was how I felt because how can I go to lecture like everything the lecturer is saying? I can't pick a single word from it. Well, I said, okay, that's the reason I'm here. So I have to show up in the class, even though there is no attendance, but I have to show up. That's the reason why I came here. So I have to show up in class. And some of the morning lectures, early morning lectures, when you use train, you have to spend more when you go early morning. So what I started doing, there are some lecturers I stopped attending their early morning lectures because I feel like I'm wasting money for nothing. I will just go to the second lecture. I'll skip the first lecture and attend the second lecture. So the only time I understand what I've been taught in class is when I do the assignment by myself or when I do the assessment, whatever, or exam period. I have to study on my own. That's the only time I understand. Though I spoke with one of the lecturers, he told me that he's also like that. He doesn't understand lectures, but when he study on his own, he understands it. So that's what happened to me. Then that period when I started writing the assessment, I started getting my results. I was really disappointed when I got my first results for my assessment. I got more of 60s. I felt so depressed about the score because one thing about me is that I'm not trying to compare my score with another person, but since I was a child, that's been my personality since I was small. If I did not get first, second, or third, I'll be crying. So that's my character. So my sister already know my character. So since I was small, so that's what I do. If I don't get first, second, or third, I'll feel bad. I'll cry. I'll complain. Like I'll complain to everybody. I'll feel cheated. I'll feel bad. Those kind of feelings. I feel like that's what helped me to do better because I don't want to be at the back. I don't want to be at the back. So anytime I see myself like I'm at the back, I get depressed. So when I came here and then I start getting my grade, normally as an undergraduate, I mean, I always score the highest. That's why when I graduated, I was the best student in my class. My score is always the highest whenever we write exam and all those things. Even secondary school, yeah, I was top three till I finished secondary school. Then the best students in university. So when I came here, I start seeing 60s, 65, 63, 61, 68. Oh God, I felt bad. I start complaining to my mom, my sister, my husband, everybody around me. They suffered that period, even my friends. I was I was complaining. I feel like I'm not giving it enough time. And that's the truth. When I came to study, I was not focusing on my studies. Like I said, I'm not the type that studies except during exam. I'm not a bookworm. Some people like studying. I don't like studying. I only pass by the grace of God. I don't like studying. I spend all my time writing grant application, applying for grants, applying for fellowships. And then I'm still expecting to have a good result. Did you see it? I think I'm selfish. So, so when I don't have the good result I was expecting, I'll be feeling bad. My mom will tell me, just leave applications and focus on your study. Leave application and study. I'll tell my mom, but if I leave this application, like after I finish studying, what next? What will happen next? Because I'm using this thing to get some side money. Then at least if you do project, you get some tips. I'm using it to get some side money. So if I just leave this thing and focus on my studies, what's going to happen after school? What's next? So that's the question I keep asking myself. I say I'm not going to leave the application. I'm going to manage both of them. I've already mastered how to multitask. So we got to second semester. Okay, let me tell you the truth. There are sometimes I feel like dropping out. I just feel like, let me just end the whole thing. Like, I'm not the first person to drop out from school. Let me just drop out and go and build my business. I've thought about it several times. I didn't tell anybody. I just thought about it. Every time I'll say, let me drop out. Let me just drop out. But if I drop out, I'm on scholarship. I have to refund them the money. So there is no going back. I know some persons, like two persons I know, that dropped out. They didn't finish their undergraduate and they're doing well in their business. All those kind of motivation will start coming from nowhere. I'll remember all the people that drop out from school and build a successful business. I'll be like, yeah, I'm not the first person to do it, so I can still do it. After I'm not the first person. But I can't even open my mouth to say to my mom that I'm dropping out or tell my husband that I'm dropping out. You know how hard I fought to get the scholarship for me to come and drop out. So there's no going back. I just have to encourage myself to continue studying. Then we got to second semester. That was January, February, March. Yeah, second semester was a bit better than first semester. At least in second semester, I got I got several A's. I started improving, but there are some times when I broke down very well, like around March last year. Between March, April, May, yeah, I had a serious breakdown. Not just about the financial aspect. Yeah, the financial aspect is part of the problem I had, because it got to a point I had to start begging some of my friends for money to pay my rent, to complete my rent, because I'm waiting for the next stipend to come in May and I've already spent everything. The only money I saved was the money I want to use for my visa if I finish, because I don't want to be stranded when I finish and start looking for visa money. So I've spent everything. It got to a point whereby, like, my family will be taking things on credit and be waiting for the stipend. That's the extent it got to. Like, everyone will be taking things on credit because they'll call me. I say, I don't have the money. I'm waiting for the stipend. You just have to wait. If you know who to borrow from, go and borrow. You just have to wait till the stipend comes, because that was what happened for my January stipend. Like, the debt have already piled up that I have to clear the debt before I now start spending for the year. So that was how bad it was. And all this situation was happening. I was applying for jobs. I didn't get any job. More than 500 applications. I didn't get any job. I started living in fear. Like, my fear is, in the next, by May, I will stop getting my stipend. I've not gotten a job. And then I will start spending from what I've saved. And I've not gotten a job. And when you're applying more than 500, you're getting rejections. It looks like there is no hope anywhere. The ones that want to take me, they want me to work full time. I don't know what to do. I was confused. Every time I'm living in fear. Like, because in this country, nobody is going to take you in. If you get stranded, nobody will take you in. They are paying heavily for the rent and you expect them to give you free accommodation. It's not like Nigeria that you just crash into somewhere, go and eat food, sleep there. Like, in Nigeria, you can never be stranded. You can, highest, the worst thing is you go back to your village and be living free of rent. You don't pay rent there. So that's the worst thing to happen to you in Nigeria. You go back to your village, you don't have to pay rent. But here, it's not your village. You must pay rent. And you know how much you are paying in rent. It's not a small money every month. So when I check all these things, I don't know what to do. And then the grants I won another one, like two other ones in between the first half of 2025, and they didn't pay me. I had like four different grants, they have not paid me. I was like, is this what I'm going to continue to do? So I was just relying on the stipend, just the stipend, and then a lot of expenses are taking the stipend. So that it got so worse that when I get to the class, even the lecturer noticed it, that my mind is not in that class. I will just be staring at her, my econometrics lecturer. I will just be staring at her, or I'll be sleeping in the class. These are the things, one thing about me, if I'm in pains, what I used to kill pains is sleep. If I'm in pains, I'll be sleeping. I will not want to talk to anybody. I will just be sleeping. If I wake up, I sleep. I wake up, I sleep. I'm just using that sleep to kill the pain. So when I go to lecture, I'll be dozing off. My eyes will be like this. So the woman knows that I'm sleeping. So at a point, she called me after a lecture one day. She asked me, what is the problem? What's wrong with you? I wanted to speak. I feel like tears is coming out from my eyes. I thought that I'll send her an email and explain to her later. So I sent her an email. I explained everything to her. She told me to apply to the hardship fund in the university. I applied. I thought I've already applied before. They rejected it because they said that my scholarship stipend should be enough for me, only me, not for my family members. So when she told me to apply again, I reapplied. They still rejected it again. They calculated my expenses and everything. They said the money should be enough for me, only me, that they are not supporting family members. That's the problem. So it's making me to lose focus in class. I don't used to pay attention in class. When I was waiting for my May stipend to come, I've already exhausted everything I had. I start sending message to my friends to beg for money for transport fare to go to school, for money to complete my rent. I borrowed money that month. Some of them gave me dash, some of them borrowed me. Even there is one man that so the man has been asking me out. I told him I'm married. He keep disturbing me, keep disturbing me. I should return the dowry that my husband paid so that he'll come and marry me. This. You know, at a point he said his mind. He said that he has not had sex for how many years. I said, guy, is this why you are asking me out? Like you're looking for a sex partner or what? I don't understand. How has sex, what business has sex got to do with marriage? You're telling me about marriage and you're telling me you have not had sex for like how long? How is that my business? It's not my business. So I told him this is not my problem. Just don't tell me about it. I'm not interested. So when I was having these difficulties, I told him to borrow me money. I need money to go to lecture the next day. I don't have money. I told him to loan me some money. He told me, assuming I accepted what he said, nah, I won't be paying rent. I will just come and live in his house free of charge. So I should come and exchange the rent money for my body. Like how? How? Even in Nigeria, even when we are very, very poor, that we don't even used to eat food. I did not do that. Is it now that I'm eating food that I'll do it? So, though he later loaned me the money, but that statement, it shows what some ladies are passing through. Some people are passing through. Maybe because they are in a financial difficulties. Someone will come and say, "Oh, come and do this before I help you," that kind of thing. So, yeah, some of my friends they gave me money. They said, "Don't pay back." Yeah, they gave me some money. They said don't pay back. Some of them they gave me I have to pay back. So that was the situation till I got the May stipend. Then I paid off the debt I was owing. And then amidst all these things, there are other crises that are happening back home. There are other problems that are happening, which is not something I'll come and say here, but some family issues, some challenges that are draining, that are mentally draining. So I'm not just going through the financial difficulties. I'm also going through other problems that are affecting me mentally, psychologically. I just had to, yeah, that my lecturer told me mental health team in the school. So from one of my applications for extensions, and when I explained my situation to them, they now recommended me for the mental health team. That was how I started first with the counselor, and then I shared the situation with her and everything. She said, okay, maybe we should have a therapy. We had one therapy. She said, okay, maybe I needed a mentor. So she recommended me to another counselor to be my mentor. And then we do have meetings every week or every 2 weeks. We have meeting, just me and the counselor. We talk, she give me suggestions, give me tips, even told me to submit my CV to the careers department so we can rework my CV to see if I can get a job. So all these things were happening when I was already writing my exam. It was happening then. But sometimes when I post my wins in the WhatsApp group, people be like, this girl is rich. Like when I was doing GoFundMe, some of my friends will tell me that I'm rich, I'm a rich girl, this. I'll just be laughing. Well, I claim it. If you say that I'm rich, I claim it in Jesus' name. Amen. I'll be claiming it. Because if I say I'm not rich, there is nothing I'll say that will make sense to that person or the people that are saying that. So I just have to claim it. Yes, I claim it. I'm rich. I claim it. So it was, I think, around June, July, or whatever. That was when I got a job. Then I was doing my dissertation. It was crazy. I have to combine the job with my dissertation and everything. But thanks be to God, I was able to come out with a good result in the end. When I told my sister my results, because I later got a distinction, overall distinction in my dissertation. When I told my sister said that she knows that if I did not get a distinction, I will not allow them to rest in that house. I will not allow them to rest. And she has been praying to God on my behalf to just give me that distinction so that they will rest. Because if I did not get it, I will disturb them. I will complain. I will complain. And when I was writing the dissertation, I saw one grant. And that grant, the money involved is a big money. At least it's bigger than what I've gotten before. I was tempted. That grant came out. It opens twice in a year. The first one opened when I was writing my exams. I couldn't apply for it. The second one opened when I was doing my dissertation. I said, guy, I can't leave this money. I can't. I told my mom, I saw one grant. Let me just do this one. If I finish doing it, I'll pack grant application and do my dissertation. My mom was begging me, have you started your dissertation? I'll say, no, I'm still doing that grant. She will be like, please, just leave that grant. Go and do your dissertation, please. I said I'm not going to leave it. Well, my husband, one thing about him is if I tell him I have a grant to apply for, he will not tell me to leave it. But he'll just be like, do fast so that you can do your dissertation. But my mom will tell you, leave it, do your dissertation, leave it. So I didn't leave the grant. I applied for it and I got it. I was so proud of myself that I got that grant because I didn't sacrifice it for anything. So I got the grant. And then the dissertation, I was begging God, please just give me a 74 and above. If I'm able to get 74, that means my overall grade will be a distinction. So luckily for me, I got the 74 in the dissertation. So it just changed the whole story, the cry, the tears and everything. In fact, that's why every time I just keep thanking God because it's just a miracle. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it, honestly, because I didn't give more than 30% of my time to my studies. 70% of my time was dedicated to grant application, fellowship application, mentorship, all those online things. That's why I put 70% of my time. You hardly know that I'm even a student based on the way I apply for things, the way I post, the way I do my mentorship. And some people thought I was in Nigeria. They didn't know that I'm studying. So I only gave just 30%. Guy, that's crazy. Even when I did the dissertation, when I did the dissertation, I was I applied for extension because I spoke with my counselor. I cannot finish it in the stipulated time because I didn't start early. I had some assignments I had to resubmit. So I had to extend the dissertation to the deadline was 30th of October. I extended it to Sorry, 19th, no, 5th of October. 5th of September was the original deadline. I extended it to 19th September. I didn't finish it. I extended it to 31st of October. Extending it to 31st of October, the Amahoro Fellowship onboarding session was shifted backward. It was supposed to happen in the beginning of October, but they shifted it backward to the ending of October. And it clashed with my final week for my dissertation. And then I had to go for the fellowship onboarding session in Kenya. I was in Kenya. In fact, in the daytime, we have activities till night. Overnight, I'll be doing the dissertation, and then my original supervisor was not that active. You send her an email, she respond after 1 month or after 3 4 weeks. So it was very difficult. It was pulling me back. I had to tell the school to give me another supervisor. So they gave me a second supervisor. I think that's the biggest um achievement, because that helped me to get that grade I got in my dissertation. So sometimes you just have to speak up. That's one thing about this place. You have to speak up. If you don't speak up, you lose a lot of opportunities if you don't speak up. That's just the truth. Because all those mental health services and support, counseling, they helped me so much. I cannot say that they don't help. They helped me a lot. They helped me so much. So they gave me a second supervisor, and the second supervisor is one of the best supervisors you will have. It's someone that is very critical. She will point out hidden things that you do not even know that is wrong with your write-up. So when they gave her to me, it was just the week I have to go to Kenya. So we had a meeting. The first meeting we had, she said, oh, when am I going to submit chapter 1 to 3 or chapter 1 to 4 to her? I gave her a date. That was the same date I was already in Kenya. I didn't meet up. She emailed me after. It was just remaining 4 days to the deadline. She emailed me. She have not seen my submission. I explained to her that I had a conference and the date was shifted backwards. So it clashed with my dissertation final week. I'm struggling to put up something and submit. So overnight I'm working. In the morning I sleep around 7, around 5, wake up around 7. By then I'm already late for the session. In fact, I was late throughout the conference in Kenya. I was late to the point that I was given award for the most frequent late comer. That's how bad it was. I was given award for the most frequent late comer. But because I had to stay awake all through the night to work on the dissertation, then I just get like 2 hours sleep in the morning before leaving the hotel room. So that's, by the way, I wasn't feeling bad about the late coming because it's not my fault. I can't help it. I just have to do that. So I explained to the supervisor my situation. I begged her I will send her the write up if she can still look at it. Even if she can't give me any feedback, I will just send it to her. That's what I concluded. So I sent her my write up 3 days to the deadline. She gave me a whole lot of correction. It means that I have to start the work afresh. I don't even know how I was feeling that day. I don't know whether if I should cry or if I should be happy. I started the work afresh. I started all over. So I didn't bother to I didn't bother to contact my first supervisor again because I know even if I email her, she will respond after the deadline have closed. So I didn't bother to contact her again. I just worked with the feedback that the second supervisor gave me. You know, I was doing my dissertation. The last day, the day I'm supposed to submit my dissertation was the same day I was coming back from Kenya to Nigeria. I had how many hours flight? We didn't sleep all through the night. So I was doing my dissertation from the airport using the airport Wi-Fi. I was doing the dissertation there. I finished chapter 1 to 3 because they gave me correction. I started at first. So I finished chapter 1 to 3 at the airport. When I landed in Nigeria around 12 p.m., I was very hungry. My friend just bought me food. I was sleeping in the car. I still have dissertation to write the same day and submit the same day. I have chapter 4, chapter 5, abstract, table of content to finish that same day. So mainly I finished eating the food. I took small nap in the car. Then when we got home, I started the dissertation. And do you know that though when I was in the car, I was doing some of the things with my phone. I linked the my personal drive to the one in my laptop. So if I'm doing it with my phone, it should appear in my laptop. When I got home to continue from where I stopped with my phone, everything I did not show up. I started crying. All the corrections I've made did not show up. I was so tensed. I was crying already. I don't know what to do. I was crying. And then the internet, my internet refused to work. The Wi-Fi in the house refused to work. So my friend had to bring his own phone when he came back and connect the his Wi-Fi, and then we entered the car. It was in the car that the thing started working. I was doing it there. When I submitted in Nigeria, it was 11:59. That was when I submitted. Though I didn't know the time has changed. The UK was 10:59. So my table of content, I didn't even put numbers, the page numbers in some of them. I just clicked submit. Let me just submit it, because if it passed that 11:59 and enter the next day, that means I will score zero in that dissertation. If it passed that day and enter the next day, zero. So I had to submit it that way. Then email the school, the department. When I found out that UK is 1 hour ahead of Nigeria, I just had to email the department that I submitted my dissertation, but it was scattered when I submitted it, because it was Microsoft Word. I converted it to PDF. I didn't check it. I just submitted it. It was scattered. And another thing is that my table of content, I didn't put the page numbers. So I emailed them to allow me to resubmit. They said it's not possible again because the time has passed. If I resubmit, it will count as a late submission. So I had to just leave it like that. And I was praying to God for a miracle. So do you know that the miracle actually happened? My my supervisor that was supposed to mark my dissertation, she emailed me the day she was going to mark my dissertation. She emailed me that the one in the school portal refused to open, that she couldn't download it from there. I should send her the dissertation. I now sent her that one that I've corrected, that I've put the page numbers and arranged it properly. I had to send her that one. I said, God, this is just a miracle. Like the one I uploaded there, she couldn't download it. So I sent it to her. And then what I was begging God then, I said, God, please, I know I've messed up the whole result. I've messed up everything. I didn't give my time to my studies. I'm very sorry. Please pardon me. This dissertation is my last hope. Please pardon me. Please just give me a 74 and above. I'll be okay. 73 is good, yeah. But I don't have that 100% assurance that if I get a 73, my overall result will be a distinction. I just needed 74 to be sure. So when the result came out, guys, you won't believe that I got a 74. A 74. And that was with that my lecturer that day, the one that referred me to the school counseling and all this. I was with her when the dissertation result came out. I don't know. I was so tense. She said I should check it before we continue our conversation. I said, should I wait after? She said, but you will still check it. So it's better you check it. If you don't check it, your mind will be there. Just check it. I checked it. Oh my God. That was one of the happiest days in my life, because that was all I prayed for and God answered my prayer. So, and then it's kind of give me hope. It gave me hope. Yeah. At least God still answers prayer. God is still with us despite all the difficulties, despite everything I went through. God is still there with me. So it gave me hope, it gave me assurance. I say, yes. Well, I don't know about you, I don't know your relationship with God, but one thing you need to know is that if you hold on to God, God will never disappoint you. Never, never. Because when I got that my scholarship, I didn't share the experience when I got the scholarship. That 2024, everything I had in savings, I gave it out that year, beginning of 2024. I gave it out to someone I felt the person needed it more than me, just to help. And then I started living from hand to mouth in 2024. I was begging my brother to borrow me some money. My brother has borrowed me like over 150K. That was the situation. when I got the scholarship, I was really considering to go back to teaching because I quitted teaching to focus on my project. I was considering, should I go back to teaching? What am I going to do? Even some donations I made in the church, I donated with faith, thinking that I was going to get big money to settle it. But when I didn't get the money I was expecting, I had to settle those donations from my personal pocket. So I was almost empty before the scholarship came, and then all the things I won, they didn't pay me. That I got the scholarship. I was already in my house, in my family house. I went to Anambra from Abuja. I went for a project in Anambra, and they're going to pay me $200, and that's the only money I have at that point. The day I got the scholarship, I slept that night. What I was thinking in my mind is, if I go back to Abuja, there is one new school they are building around my estate. I will go and submit my application there. I just hope that they have not taken everybody. I will go and submit my application. Let me start that work because the money I have in my account is not up to 100K. And then the project I came to do, they will pay me $200. So that's the only money I have. And my family, they don't even know how much I have. Once I come back every morning, you provide money for food every morning. Sometimes 5K, 7K. Like, you be bringing the money. They don't know that my account balance is empty. So I was just thinking, like throughout the night, I was thinking. I didn't sleep well. I was thinking. That morning, I've prepared to go for the project. Immediately, the email came in. Like, I read that scholarship essay. Sorry, the scholarship email. I read the thing twice. I said, no, I need to zoom it and read it properly. Let me be sure that I got the scholarship before I announce it. So I read this thing, because what I didn't expect that I'm going to get scholarship in SOAS. Because when I applied for that scholarship, they said they are going to invite us for interview in June, first week of June. The whole of June, I didn't get any interview invite. So I consider that I've already lost it. So I wasn't counting it among the scholarship I was waiting for. But one thing stood out for me. I told my landlord in Abuja that I'm going to get a scholarship and I'm going to move out by September. So he should be preparing to refund me. I even told him before I move into the house. I said it with faith. Even when I keep getting rejections, do you know how frustrated I was? I got so many rejections to the point that I was even applying to Burkina Faso for scholarship. My sister told me it has gotten to the extent of applying to Burkina Faso. I thought it's UK, all these UK, all these European countries. So it's now Burkina Faso. I told my sister, at least they are giving stipend of 270 euros every month. That's something. I'm not earning the money here. So let me just apply. I was trying to convince my sister why I should go to Burkina Faso. Even Burkina Faso, I no see. They even gave me rejection. Even Algeria, I no see. I started applying to African countries for scholarship. That's how bad it got. That's how frustrated I was. I started applying to but one thing I keep telling my landlord, I'm going to move out by September. I don't know how it's going to happen. I did MasterCard interview, they rejected me. I did Erasmus interview, they put me on wait list. I don't know what is still giving me hope. Do you know when I'm counting the scholarship I'm waiting for, I don't used to count SOAS because June has passed, they didn't invite me for interview. The day I got the scholarship was 30th of July. Everybody that knows about scholarship know that getting scholarship in July is a risky thing because most of the scholarship must have finished. So I got the offer 30th of July. Hmm. Guy, I don't know how to be excited that day. When I told my mom, I just said, Mommy, I've gotten a scholarship in London. My brother came in immediately, carried me up and spin me around the whole room. He dropped me, he rushed out to go and get drinks. They started popping champagne. I just started rolling on the floor because I said, any day I'll get a scholarship, I'm going to roll on the floor. So that was a miracle that happened for me in 2024 when I was already considering to go back to teaching work. And then the scholarship came in. The same thing when I was already losing hope if I'm going to graduate with a distinction or not. It happened. I got it. So God is just a miracle worker. That's just the truth. Especially when you trust in God. It will never disappoint you. Never. So I think that's all I have to share. If you have any comment, question, yeah, You can drop your comment or your question or how you feel about the session. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for listening. Guys, comment, question, comment, question, comment. Okay, only Jessica commented. Where are other people in this call? Drop your comment, drop your question, drop whatever. How do you feel about the session? Okay, so where are those people that joined early? I promised you something. Just send me a DM after the call. Blessing, Quadri, Sunday, Jazz. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me just add someone. Okay, 5 of you. Just send me a DM after the call, okay? Just thank you so much. Yeah, God is good, honestly. When people are seeing you're studying abroad, they feel like you've already made it, you've already made it. They don't know what you're going to. But if I'm a selfish person that only care about myself, I don't think I would have gone through those kind of situations. But because I was carrying a lot of problem, other people's problem, trying to make sure that everybody around me is okay, everybody is okay, I was carrying their problem. I didn't even tell my mom what I was going through. If they call me, I'll be encouraging them, I'll be smiling. They don't know that I'm going through a lot. Yeah, I remember when I went for choir practice with one of my friends. I had to go to the toilet. I was just crying there. I cried, 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 cried. Even in my house, sometimes I'll go to the toilet, I'll be crying. After I finish crying, I'll come out, I'll clean my eyes and pretend that everything is okay. I'll come online, do my live stream. At a point last year, I stopped doing the live stream because I was not emotionally stable. I stopped the live stream for some time, for a long time, before I started showing up on camera again. Because I don't think I feel strong enough to show up. I just do the mentorship for people online. And guess what? People will just be bringing their problem to me. This one will tell me their problem, I will solve. This one will tell me, I will solve. This one will tell me. But my own problem, I don't have anybody to discuss it with. I don't even have anybody to solve it for me. So that's one thing with people that always listen to other people. When they are down, they don't even have anybody that they can talk to because the world is seeing them in another picture. The world is seeing them as superwoman or superman, like. So they can't share their vulnerability with the world because they may not even understand, they may not believe it. They may not believe it. So okay, Sunday, you said you have a question. What's your question? Sunday, what's your question? Okay, apart from grants application, is there no other side job wise schooling? Like I said I've applied for more than 500 job and I was rejected. When I got a job was ending of July. That was like almost 11 months. Almost 11 months after I came. Some of my friends that I know, they got a job after they have finished studying. It's not like the person have not been applying. I even have a friend that went back to Nigeria because she couldn't get a job. So what the mindset we had in Nigeria is that there are a lot of jobs in the UK. It's when you come here that you when reality hits you, that's when you understand that that mindset is not correct. It's not correct. That my friend that went back, she told me she have lost count of the number of jobs she applied for. She applied for more than 1,000 jobs and she didn't get anyone. Even the one I got is a minimum wage job on top my certificate, on top my masters. The job I'm doing is the job that somebody that did not go to school will do and will get the same pay. That's the job I'm doing. So instead of you to even stay idle, let me tell you, I even apply for cleaning job. They no give me cleaning. They even reject me for cleaning, like me cleaning. Is where. Hmm. Okay, any other question? Sister Blessing, welcome. Any other question or comment? So, no question, no comment. I already said the people that joined early, you have to send me a DM. Let me do small giveaway for you for joining early. If you did not join early, if you are sending me a DM, that means you want to register for my mentorship class. Don't come and ask me for giveaway. Okay, Blessing said, why is it? Hmm. Why is it difficult to find a job? Because the UK is already saturated. A lot of immigrants are here, and most times they prefer to give the job to their people. So I don't want it to sound like a stereotype, but I think that's the truth. Because if you watch the kind of job black people are doing here, it's not really that. It's not the best job. It's not the best. Imagine the kind of job I'm doing now. God. When I told my family the kind of job I got, my younger brother, my younger brother said, so this is the kind of job you'll be doing. They were laughing at me. Like, God, you be you you be cleaning bomb or packing poop. Me that don't like to see poo. I've gotten I've gotten a degree in packing of poo. when when I was small, that my mom still giving birth, like my younger ones, if they ask me to wash the napkin, I will I will go and get two sticks and put it and put the napkin inside water and use stick to be stirring it because I don't want the poo to touch me. But now I'm expert in packing of a whole CEO. I'm not CEO in packing poo. and then and then some people will still insult you on top of it. Some of those that are badly behaved, they will still frustrate you. Hey, so Favor, you're asking me if my scholarship covers my accommodation. Yes, the money they're giving is supposed to cover accommodation. I think you joined late because I was talking about the cost of living. The rent is so high. Sometimes the rent can take half of the money. So the rent is too much and you pay rent every month. Mm. Listen say that you feel people overseas have a lot of opportunity. Yeah, that was our mindset then. In fact, if I did not travel abroad, it's since I traveled, I stopped seeing people abroad as rich people. Because you will see so many students when they graduate, they cannot see money to do their visa. They will start applying for GoFundMe to raise money to do their visa. You'll be wondering, like, how? But people in Nigeria, they don't even understand what you're going through because the money for the visa is too much. If you're working, how long will it take you to save that money? When did I start saving money from my work? I couldn't save anything from the work for so many months. It was until I started cutting down so many expenses back home. That was when I was able to save anything. But I couldn't save money from the work. It's very, very difficult to save, especially if you are doing a minimum wage job and then you are living in London, you are paying a lot of money, accommodation, transportation, data, everything is expensive. So when someone beg you money back home, you send small money, they'll be like, oh, this person is too stingy. This person is stingy. They don't know what you're going through. They thought that there is a tree where you can pluck money. You just go to that tree and pluck 10,000 pounds and put in your account. Before you save 1,000 pounds from work in this country, you will suffer. You know what you have deprived yourself to save that money. Okay, so is there any other question or comment? Okay, so I think that means we have to end the session, right? If you have not spoken and you are in this session, you have to speak. Speak now before I come and fight you. Hmm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The only thing that is affecting our country is just the hardship and everything. My scholarship did not cover the visa. I did the visa myself. I paid the immigration health surcharge. So despite I got the scholarship, I spent around 3 point something million extra to get myself to the UK. So blessing, you just joined my WhatsApp group because when I got that scholarship, I did fundraising in my WhatsApp group. I did fundraising to raise money for my visa and all those things. Though I didn't get the whole money I needed. I took loan from someone. I did a lot of things to get the money. Some people supported me free. Some people gave me as loan. I have to pay back. That was everything I did to get here. So when I got here, I had to pay back some money plus the other personal expenses and family expenses. So a lot of things. Okay, as a student, you can work 20 hours during term time. Term time means when the school is in session, you work a maximum of 20 hours. When the school is not in session, like Christmas holiday, you can work full time. If you're a master student, during Easter holiday, you cannot work except if your course is 2 years. Maybe the first year you can work Easter holiday. The second year, they assume you should be doing your dissertation by then, so they don't count it as your holiday time. It's only the Christmas break that you can work full time. Sorry, Christmas holiday and Easter holiday, yeah. The time you cannot work full time is the summer break if you are a master student. But if you are undergraduate, you can work full time in summer break. Any other question? Okay, since there is no other question, how do you feel about the session? Do you enjoy the session and why? Say something, say something. Don't be quiet. Say something. Guys, say something. Okay, no more comments. So see you later. I'm going to end the call now. Thank you all for joining. One more thing, if you have not subscribed, please try and subscribe, okay? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Okay, so someone is asking me, what would I like to do next for work if I had to choose from my most realistic option? Well, personally, I think maybe I would like to be a researcher. Though I can teach, I can work in schools, but I can work in schools, but I think I like to be a researcher. In fact, that's the reason why I want to get my PhD. I just want to go into research. I think I'm good with writing and stuff like that. So I want to go into research. That's the truth. I want to go into research. But getting a research role is a bit hard if you don't have a PhD already. But I'm applying. Let's see how it goes. Just you enjoy the session, okay? Sunday say it's cool. Quadri say it's I'm highly motivated. This is eye opening. Okay. Charles said I enjoyed the session, but Nigerian network. Okay, blessing. Blessing said it was amazing, full of emotion and the evidence that God can be trusted. Yes, I'm a living testimony of God's goodness. That's just the truth. If I save your contact, you check my status, you see that most times I post, I just talk about God in my status. Because today's reading in the church, if you're a Catholic, you know that today we the reading was about how God anointed David to become king. So in his house there are his brothers, his big brothers, but God did not choose any of them. God chose David. So most times I equate the love of God for me with the love he had for David, because I didn't do anything special. So why did God choose me in my family? Why did God choose me to decide to use me to help others? So I just see myself in the light of David in the Bible, like the way God loved David, a man after God's own heart. So I'm the woman after God's own heart. That's what I'll say. Because it's just too much. Yeah, God's love for me is too much. I know how we started from zero, like how we started from begging for food. Like when I was doing my undergraduate, I paid my school fees, I work full time. Before I go to lecture, I have to beg for money for transportation fare. Before I buy textbook, I beg for money. Even to eat food, we have to beg. It got to a point someone insulted my father, that my father came to his wedding uninvited because my father came to eat food. That's what he said. When my father died, his brothers, our villagers, they said my father died of hunger. So if they're sharing something for the less privileged, my family is among the less privileged. They're sharing food for. Sometimes we don't even eat anything. I ate buns to the point that if buns is going to grow, it will grow on my head, because that buns, will buy the buns like 10 pieces, we'll share it. Everybody will carry one and a half, one and a half. We'll eat the buns and just go till the next day sometimes. There was a day I was feeling dizzy. I've gotten so hungry to the point that I forgot the last time I ate food. I was feeling dizzy. Like I was like, what's going on? What's happening to me? I feel like I'm fainting. I feel like I'm fainting. What is happening? And I start checking. And I check, when was the last time I ate food? It was the previous day that I ate food. And what I ate was buns. Guy, have you ever been hungry that you forgot the last time you ate food? Because there is no hope. You don't know where the food is coming from. Every day we wake up, we don't know where the food is coming from. That's when we realize that God said, give us this day our daily bread. That's our Lord's prayer. That's our prayer that time. Give us this day our daily bread. There is no where the bread is coming from. Sometimes you have to go and beg for food, borrow. Like people insulted us, we are hungry, we are this, we are that. One prayer I keep praying, then I say, God, bless us to the point that when people are talking about God's blessing, they should use us as an example. They should use our family as an example. Anywhere they are discussing about people that God bless, let my family be used as an example. That's the kind of blessing I want you to bless us. I want you to surprise us before even surprise others. Like God surprised me, God shocked me. Yes, God did. God shocked me. So if you are passing through a kind of situation, just know that there is God. If you hold on to God, God will never disappoint you. Never. That's the truth. Never. Okay, so one is asking, would you agree that mainland Europe is easier financially for people who want to study or work abroad? I don't know which side is mainland. Is it like Germany, or like which side is mainland Europe? Because those kind of places, yeah, the school fees is cheap, but I think they have language barriers. They have language barriers for those that are not English speaking. So, but I don't know which exact locations you are calling mainland Europe actually. But if it's those countries that don't speak English, the school fees is cheap there. But You don't understand the language, start learning language. I'm not a very patient person to come and start doing my masters for 3 or 4 years, trying to learn language first and then start studying. Okay, I'm not the patient. I want it sharp, sharp. If I'm doing masters, 1 year masters. If I'm doing PhD, 3 years, highest 3.5 years. I don't want those ones that will come and keep me for so many years. I have a lot of things to do with my time. Okay, so in the absence of questions and comments, I have to end the session, right? Should I? Should I end the session? Or is there anyone that still want to talk? How many of you have not subscribed? Go and subscribe. I'll come and cry in your DM if you did not subscribe. Go and subscribe. Bye. See you on next week. So next week, I'm going to have a special class. I'm still thinking, though, I have topics already. I have topics I want to take for this year, but last week, I was so annoyed. Someone provoked me, so I didn't have my session last week. But next week, I don't know if I should have a session from the topics I brought out, or maybe I'll look for. What do you guys want to hear next week? Scholarships or grants? Which one? Just choose the one you want me to talk about. I'll talk about it. Scholarship or grant? Scholarship or grant? Which one? Okay, I'll do what I want to do, right? Both of them. Charles, you cannot combine scholarship and grant together now. They are two different dimensions. There are audience that want to hear grant. There are audience that want to hear scholarship. That's just the truth. Last year that I was doing, if I do scholarship this week, I do grant next week. I noticed that some people are joining for grants only. Some people are joining for scholarship only. There are people that don't attend the two classes. If it is only grant, they are there. If it is only scholarship, they are there. Then some people can mix up both of them. Okay, scholarship is winning the vote. Oh. Just say scholarship. Sunday said grant. I just need one more vote. One more vote. Let me know which one. Okay, scholarship has won. So we are doing scholarship next week. See you guys next week. Bye bye. Drop your emoji. Oh. If you're happy, drop your happy emoji. I can't see your happy faces.